All right, let me check one thing. It looks like live. Good. It's going. All right, well, hello everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pineiro with this week's weather podcast, and essentially the title I've kind of made, the Pineiro Preliminary. So with this, I would normally have something to show you. I'm in a void right now. I don't know why. That little box that I was talking about I had problems with last time, that takes the computer's HDMI signal and turns it into Ethernet, that goes into a router, that goes into the iPad. It's not working. So if anything, we're just going to talk about the forecast instead of look at anything. Ha, Pete, say it ain't snow. Uh, it is snow. That is the thing. Pete, how are you doing tonight? Well, I try and figure out, I'm trying to restart it, see if that does anything. Otherwise, we'll take a look at that weather right there, and we'll take a look at that weather right there. You can see I got the green screen up and running perfectly fine. It's just, there's nothing. This is why I'm about 15 minutes late. I had everything ready to go. Mic on, audio levels look fine. I got the side monitors up. Green screen was, I did the chroma key and I keyed properly. That's why everything looks decent right now. It's just a tiny little halo around me right at the moment, but that may be just because there's no background. But let's see, it's starting. This device down here. And I have some things to show you guys. At least in the meantime, I'll load up some extra stuff here. Get some of these websites ready to go. Loading. I don't know if this is just not working, this device anymore. That's the key part to making the green screen background appear with stuff. Otherwise, besides the black, what you would see is this, the actual green screen. So that is what I am seeing behind me. Okay, it's not saying a video signal. Looks like it's connected to Ethernet. Video detected, which is good. Now, can I add this while it's going? Oh, I see something. Okay. Good. Hey! So I got the feed coming in. Let me just reset this up. Because it has a delay of about half a second. Don't want that. All right. We're about good to go. I apologize for the technical difficulties. And ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, we got radar. I think I might need to readjust the chroma key. This would have helped if I had this up before. All right, let's try that. That's a bit better. I'm not disappearing into the wall. All right, I think we're good to go. Everything looks connected. All right. So now, let me fully introduce myself again and start recording. I can get rid of these old recordings. All right, recording in progress. Now we can begin. Hello, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pineiro, officially this time with stuff in the background. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We got to see some comments coming in. Sunset Delvin 437 in Boston. Yeah, I slowly am seeing the minute by minute, the sunset is getting earlier and earlier. I cannot see anything at the moment. I ran out of contacts. This is almost the same color as the green screen. Hold on. That one cloth threw off the whole green screen. Okay, there we go. Now I can see it better. And yes, Delvin, the deep thunder was putting a lot of snow out there. But we'll go through all that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the Euro up because it kind of falls under the same reason as the Futurecast, which is the RPM and the Deep Thunder, but I actually might just because of the situation at the moment. All right. It got warm in here, so I am thirsty. So let's begin. We're going to look at some of the radar here, and we're going to see a big chunk of the middle part of the country. Besides here, let me just move this over. All right, let's start where we are right now. And what we're seeing here, nothing really too much. I'm not sure if any of this is actually making it to the ground. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit there. If you're up a bit more north, all this may be making it to the ground, but northern New York State, that's a bit of a question mark if it's actually making it to the ground or not. So that I'm not sure. If anybody lives up in this area, would love to know if you're actually seeing any kind of snow flurries or snow showers like that. But overall, if we take a look at the big picture here, and even going a bit more west, there's a lot of just empty space all over this way. And that is a good thing. So Thursday, tomorrow, tonight, not that bad. We're going to have cold conditions, but it's going to be fairly calm. And we have a couple of rounds of weather to talk about. Looks like my phone is skipping a couple frames here and there. Everything else looks like it's fine. Okay. We'll keep going along. So I'm going to push this to what I really want to show you, which is the very beginning. So out here, right over here, California, all the way up along the west coast there, that is our but the major storm system that is giving us some forecasting issues. And that's not even fully on the coast, not really on land just yet. And I'm going to show you the satellite image right here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more. And right here, that is the system that is going to be crossing the country and giving us some issues for the weekend. It almost looks like a hurricane, the way it's designed. It's not at all tropical whatsoever. But the way it looks, it's just really cool to look at. But it's going to be causing some issues a lot of issues as it crosses the country. Yes, Pete, right now where we are, it's the calm before that storm comes through. But that's round 2. Round 1 we have to deal with first. And round 1 is not going to be a lot. It's going to be a bit more of a nuisance than anything. So we have our satellite there. I want to see if I could take a look at some of the GOES 16 stuff. Can I get into continental global sector? Let's try here. Nope, too far south. Can I get up there? Okay, a little bit. Look at the side. So all of this, it kind of looks blurry. I don't know why it's looking blurry over there. Visible. Let's try shortwave infrared. It's weird. Right along the edges of the viewer. Oh, it froze. Okay, there we go. Right along the edges of the viewer there. It looks like it's kind of smeared. But that is still right there. That's the center of the low. That's what's going to be causing the issues. So it's really hard right now to take a look at things in depth for any kind of like real time, like what's happening at the moment, diagnostics with the forecasting. And that's how I kind of split my forecasting techniques. Diagnostics, what's out there right now. How is it moving over the next couple of hours? How does that line up with the forecast models? How do the forecast models they initiate or when they first start, that first frame? That is the initializing part. If they don't initialize properly, the confidence level kind of goes down. So it's really hard right now just because that low pressure center, it's not on water, it's not on land, it's over the water. Once that starts to make its way right along the coast of California there, that's going to be a little bit easier on the forecast models to account for. Is this see-through? I would think so because it's actually clear at the top. But that kind of looks just normal. So the next couple of things, I got the good old Tropical Tidbits website here. Anybody that I've been talking to throughout the day that happens to watch the stream right now, this is one of the sites I've been using. So Tropical Tidbits here, I got the GFS preloaded. It's just I clicked a little haphazardly onto the northeast. I still want the CONUS, the continental US. And this, we're going to watch, actually let me go this side. We're going to watch it a couple different ways. So I'm just going to slide this through. Over there, that is the low coming on shore. Ooh. And see it kind of splits. So watch again. The first round, ooh, right there is not. See how they're separate and there's the high pressure right there in the middle? That's what we're looking at. So round 1, Actually, I'll step off screen for a second and we'll take a look at all these. I'll go screen here. So, just to show you the full screen here, and I'll see if I can just zoom in a little bit better here. So what we're seeing, first, we have the low, and we have a high, and we have a low, and we have a high. Very active over pretty much all of the U.S. there. And that is what's causing some of these forecast models to have issues. So let me just go back to the first frame of the GFS. And this is the 0Z GF, is it? No, it's the 18Z GFS. So the 18Z, which starts its running at about 1 p.m. So it's a little bit earlier than now, but we could still take a look at whether it's validating or not, which it kind of is. We see it's starting to make its way along the California coast there with some of the heavier rain. The low is offshore, which is actually the way it is. So in terms of that, it is kind of validating properly. But that second low, or the middle low, that's the one that's going to be giving us just more of a nuisance. The nuisance that this is, that's going to be coming down, pulling some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and then it's coming up the coast. And it's probably going to start right about there, I believe. Let's see if that was what I saw from before. So we have the counterclockwise rotation here, coming around the low. So what's happening is pulling in moisture off the Gulf Coast, the Gulf of Mexico. It's meeting that colder air, starts turning a little bit frozen, and it comes back around, and it comes in circles like that. So that's going to be the biggest issue. And I don't know why I'm having issues with my finger right now. There we go. So it's circulating kind of like that. So it's pulling in that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. That's system one. And when we start to take a look at this, again, this is just the GFS that we're looking at first. So here, that's where it's bringing in some of the snow. Let's take a look at the time. That is 6Z Friday, which is 1 a.m. Friday. Also, Delvin. I don't know if you've heard anything, because I talked actually with Joe Rayo. And Joe Rayo was telling me that there was a Washington Post article on the bug that was in the GFS forecast model that no one was able to fix because of the government shutdown. With the government shutdown, all the National Weather Service employees that would have fixed it are furloughed. So the bug was persisting. I don't know if that's still the case right now. So do you know anything more on that? But let's keep going. So we're going to see. There's snow, and this has pretty much a harder line. We're going to take a closer look once we get after here, but there's a harder line between snow and rain there. But if you notice, it's pretty light blue, so it's not really doing much. So that moves its way out, and then we're watching the second one there. So that comes in off the coast. It kind of looks like it spreads apart and breaks apart over there just a little bit. And then we see the low reform right through the Four Corners region. And then that low starts to really intensify. And just like the one that's Thursday into Friday, it starts pulling in moisture. Okay, something just fell on its own. So we start to see it pulling in that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico there. It's pulling in all the moisture, going all the way around, counterclockwise, low pressure spin counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere. And that's where the colder air that's pulling down from Canada is meeting that. And that's where we're seeing along the backside some pretty heavy snow there. And let's keep going. All right, so that's pretty heavy rain that it's and a lot of moisture it's pulling off from the Gulf of Mexico. And once it starts to make its way into our area, actually I'll just back up here. So for Saturday, what time is this? This is 12Z Saturday, which is about 7 a.m. That high is still in between the exiting low that was from Thursday night to Friday. High in the middle, so Saturday looks pretty dry. It's going to be a little bit windy if we look at those isobars. The isobars tight together means a high pressure gradient. And before that, entering low. And thank you for your response. Yes, I was assuming the same thing since the government shutdown is still happening. No one actually came in and fixed the GFS model. Oh boy. So now, let's take a look here. Watch the... Look how intense that blue and deep that blue gets. Can't really see much in the view right now, but we're going to look a little bit more in depth. But just look how big this system is. This is spreading from the entire East Coast all the way to New Hampshire to Florida. Big, and as far west, I would say Mississippi there. It's pretty far west out. So this is a very large system. And this is what's also causing issues. The bigger the system, there's a fine line between too big and too small. With thunderstorms and tornadoes, a lot of the forecast models, the global scale models like this one, have issues with that just because it's so small of a scale. This one may be too big of a scale. And also the bug in the programming that hasn't been fixed is also not the greatest either. So we have that. And that's a lot. And this time, this is 7 a.m. Sunday. We're going to look at the close-up in a little bit. But here, that is a lot. And then that cold air, once you have that wraparound snow, because of the counterclockwise rotation around the low pressure, that is going to be all snow along the back end. And then this makes its way out. So that's still Sunday afternoon where we're still seeing a lot. And then this is 7 p.m. Sunday. By that point, the GFS says it's out. Yes, Pete, that is exactly it. The Arctic air pushing down is right here. So high pressure right there. We have clockwise rotation around this high pressure system. So that along the front side here of the high pressure, all of this is coming down from Canada, that Arctic air, where Sunday night into Monday morning, the overnight low can be around 0 or -1 degrees. In terms of Celsius, convert -1 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius.
It's minus 18.3 degrees Celsius.
Minus 18 degrees Celsius. That is a lot. So it's going to be cold. Delvin, I'm just reading your newest comment there. Oh, that's interesting. If no snow day, they'll get out June 23rd. My mom's a teacher in a school district, and the way that works is they have just a set end day, whether they use their snow days or not. So essentially, it's you use them or you lose them. I'm not sure if that's all of New York State, but the school district my mom works in, that is the way it is. You use it or you lose them. However, say they get 5 snow days. If they go into 6, 7 snow days, then that just adds on top of the end day for school. So the end day, whether they use the 5 snow days or not, stays the same. All right, so heading back here. So I'm going to back up, and we're going to look at both of these rounds. So I've tuned this. Oh, and Pete, you're welcome. I've tuned this or readjusted this back to, we got 18Z Thursday, which is about 1 p.m. Thursday, so 1 p.m. tomorrow. And I am now going to switch regions to the northeast. So here, Thursday, during the day, that's where the first high pressure is. And all of this is pretty clear air, so we're still going to be fine. And the isobars, they're not terribly close together. Maybe a little bit breezy, but not by much. And that line right there, 528, the 528 decameter line. So that's the thicknesses, which is not directly temperature, it's indirectly related to temperature. The freezing line, which is essentially the 540 meter decameter line, 540 decameter line, that is right down here. That's the 540 line. Very far south. So it's cold and it's staying cold, which is also not good in terms of, or good if you want a lot of snow. It's good for the snow accumulation because the ground is cold enough to support the snow. Any snow that falls, it won't melt, and it's just going to stay and accumulate very fast. Ah, interesting, Delvin. All right, so that is Thursday, and we're going to go into Thursday night. Ooh, right here. This is 1 a.m. Friday. We're starting to see some of that snow, but it's very light. Okay, nothing bad. And right where I was saying a pretty harsh line, there's not really much ice in the middle there. So yes, it looks like pretty much northern New Jersey, right at New York City, and going to that diagonal. Once my thing catches up, there we go. That diagonal, that's pretty much just all snow it's saying north of that. Once you get into Pennsylvania, a little bit south, is that Pennsylvania? I can't see. Pennsylvania going into, I think it's just barely touching the Virginia border. Yeah, just barely, come on, there we go. Right in that area, just a little bit of ice. So for the tri-state region, not really icy. This one's just going to be a bit of a nuisance. And then this makes its way out. This may turn into some rain. It's going to be cold rain, but this is 1 p.m. Friday. And then it makes its way out. Then the next high pressure comes in. Ooh, too far. Then the next high pressure comes in. So your day on Saturday, if it lets me go. So right here, this is the picture for about 1 p.m. Saturday. Dry for the most part, but we are watching coming in from the west, that system, which is the big one, at least for the next couple of days. And when I advance this, right there. So it's starting at about 7 p.m. Saturday, which is 0Z Sunday. And it's starting as snow. And then right here, the Hudson Valley, it's still pretty much snow. South of the Hudson Valley, and especially pretty much most of New Jersey, Long Island, and right around the southern coast of Connecticut, going a little bit further east there, that's where it's staying rain. It looks like kind of Orange County and north is staying snow. And then here, the GFS has moved a bit more north with the freezing line. So that's where the position of the low itself, that is becoming the determining factor of what type of precipitation. But still, nonetheless, whether this is snow or this is rain, it's still going to be heavy. It's going to be a terrible day on Sunday. That time is 7 a.m. Sunday. So this is where we're going to have that little bit of a surge of warmth. However, the Arctic air behind that, once the low moves out, Most of the precipitation or the moisture is gone, but that cold air is enough to cause a little bit of mixing happening right in there. And those really tight isobars, very windy. So whether it's rain or it's sleet or it's snow, it's going to be wind driven. So it's going to feel like a really raw kind of storm, which is not pleasant at all. And then this makes its way out. And then this is the picture 1 a.m. Monday. Very windy, but it's pretty much gone out of the picture by then. And then another high pressure moves in. All right, that's the GFS. Now let's switch to some of the other forecast models. The next one I'm going to go to is the Icon. And I'm going to switch this, the 18Z run. The 0Z run, I guess, is not done. Yeah, the 0Z just happened. So 0Z for the Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time, sorry. That's 7 p.m. So the 0Z run that happened at 7 p.m., it takes about 4 hours for these forecast models to process, the supercomputers that run them. Like when we get to the Deep Thunder model, that one's run on the Watson supercomputer with IBM. It takes about 4 hours for it to just crunch numbers and then render these graphics. It takes about 4 hours. Think about that. These giant football stadium sized supercomputers, so incredibly powerful, take about 4 hours. That's on the equivalent of, say, if I had a weak computer system and I'm making a video and it takes 4 hours to make a video. Say it's a 20-minute video and it takes 4 hours. That's a lot. 4 hours it takes these massive supercomputers to process. That's just how much data there is. So Tuesday, what are you saying? Delvin, there's still a little time for the exact timing and the fluctuation. So plus minus 5 hours may turn out over the next couple of days. Really, Thursday, tomorrow. That's going to be that's why I'm not going to show you guys any snow totals from my forecast. I'm going to show you the snow totals from the raw outputs of the computer models. I'm not going to make a forecast just yet. I'm just going to show you what I'm looking at. So Tuesday, yes, we'll have a bit more prep time for maybe another round of snow coming after Tuesday. We'll get to that, don't worry. Drink time. Intermission. Okay. Check in. Streaming bitrate looks very stable. All right, looks like we're doing well. Besides that weird thing, I guess it's a computer system, the little HDMI box. So it doesn't, just gotta restart it. Oh well. So we're on the Icon model, and I'm gonna switch to the 12Z model. The only thing I'm doing that, I would normally use the 18Z at this time. However, the 18Z on the Icon model is 120 hours out. The 12, that's the 18 and the 6Z. The 12Z and the 0Z, those are 180 hours out, so we get a bit more time out of this. However, we're within the time frame. So I'm going to actually switch this back to the 18Z. Because the 18Z Icon goes until about 18Z Monday. That's well within what we need. All right. Oh, actually, before I switch, I'm going to go back to GFS, and I'm going to show you the snow totals as well. So we're going to go into precip moisture. I'm going to do total positive snow depth change. So through Thursday into Friday. This is the first amount. What we're going to do, all of this, the light blue, or the dark blue going into the light blue, that's about that 1 or coating to 2 inches. So not much. The light blue, that you're really just getting once you get more north of, say, Sullivan Ulster County in the Hudson Valley. So overall, let's take about 1 inch. Whatever the snow total shows for Sunday, take about 1 inch off of that. All right, let's watch this. Here it comes. There goes the accumulations. And boom goes the dynamite. That old reference, boom goes the dynamite. All right, so this is Sunday night at about 7 p.m. And let me zoom in. So the legend, and the purples here, before it starts getting into the pink. So these purples, those are about, let's say, 3.5 to 6. Let's say 3 to 6 inches in the purples. And that's kind of what it's showing here. 6 inches across the Hudson Valley area. Once you get to northern Orange County, going into Sullivan and Ulster, that's going into the purples, and then the green. The green on the legend here hits the 12-inch mark. So that, again, this is still 4 days out. It's still possible that can move down. And then the 13-inch can move a little bit closer to our area. Now, Raymond, I don't know if you're in here. I didn't see you comment, but once you get to that capital region, like around Albany, that says 21 inches. 23 inches, 20 inches, 20 inches, 20 inches. That's a lot. So that's showing that amount of moisture is here. Even though right down here, we are seeing not a lot of snow accumulation. There's still going to be a lot of moisture. So that's where we could see ice. Layer of snow, ice, layer of snow. That's going to be another issue. If the track of the GFS turns out to be a bit more right, sure. Yeah, we're going to see maybe less snow totals in the tri-state region. But we could see ice mixing in with that, which is not good either. All right, so that's the GFS. Now we're going to go into the icon. And here, start time. So this is starting here. This says 3Z, which is 10 p.m. So 10 p.m. on Saturday. And excuse me, that's a little bit later. So a few hours of difference can make a difference as well. So let's take a peek. So yeah, starting out as all snow. Light snow for Saturday night. But then once we get past midnight, so now we're at 1 a.m., 5 a.m. That right there, that is very heavy snow. All of those dark blues. That's what's going to be causing some issues, especially because this is happening before dawn, before that warm air surges in. So this is 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 4, 5, 6, 7. 12Z becomes 7. Now here, heavy snow, heavy rain. That freezing line is very close. But if we zoom in, the Hudson Valley is in all heavy snow. And that could be 2 or 3 inches of snow per hour. Once you get to the Jersey Shore, that can be maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain per hour. Or maybe, say, an inch of rain per hour. Yes, it's a little bit, it's supposed to be 10 to 1 is the ratio. But it's different rates because of different temperatures. So that's heavy rain, that's heavy snow. We are getting a wallop with this icon model. And since it is a little bit later with the precipitation, that's affecting the timing of the warm air surging in. So by, what time was this again? This is 7 a.m. Sunday, heavy snow. And heavy rain, depending on exactly where you are. And then we're going to jump one. 10 a.m. Still very heavy precipitation. Once you get into the Hudson Valley now, Rockland, let me move that out of the way. Rockland and Westchester, it's converted back from snow by 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. it moved from from snow to rain. So when this heavy snow is starting at say 1 a.m. or 4 a.m., that say right around there, heavy snow happening until about 9 a.m. That could be a lot. And we're going to look at the snow total that this model is putting out in a bit. But heavy snow turning into heavy rain for now. And then this is 10 a.m. We're going to keep moving forward. That very heavy rain, lots of moisture. If this freezing line right there, if that moves, by, what is it? Say right here, that's about here to here. That's about 30 miles, so that would be about 60 miles. So if this moves about 60 miles north or south in this case, there's going to be a lot more areas that are going to be in this heavy, devastating snow. So that is 1 p.m. Now we're going to go to 4 p.m. Still the same situation. However, now that it's getting starting to be in the backside, it's a little bit hard to see. But this is the Hudson Valley. Here's New Jersey. That's New Jersey. Long Island's right there. Connecticut's right there. Massachusetts is right here. So this is still a lot of rain. And then the cold air comes in behind this. It's not really in time on this forecast model, but we are going to get more snow on the back end of this with the wraparound snow. Thank you, Delvin. Yes, Sunday could be devastating. Whether it's heavy rain or heavy snow, it's going to be bad. And then going into Monday, actually this one, 7 a.m. Monday, it's still snowing. So this is showing Saturday night at about, 10 p.m. until about 7 a.m. Monday. So Saturday night through all day Sunday, going into Monday morning. This is almost a 3-day storm according to this. And then that's as far out as this forecast model goes. All right, so we're going to rewind this back to before round 1, Thursday night to Friday. And we're going to look at the total snowfall. Let that okay, that loaded. So same thing we're going to do, because this is total snowfall. We're going to see what Friday holds, and then we're going to subtract that from Sunday. All right, so let's see. All right, this is 7 a.m. Friday, and that really looks about it. So let's zoom in. This is a bit more confident, 1 to 2 inches throughout most of the area here. Not terrible. Schools may have about a 1 or 2 hour delay Friday morning. It's possible, just because the roads could be a little bit slick with a couple inches on there. Even if they salt the roads or spread that brine on the roads, it could still be a little bit slick. Sidewalks could be a little bit slippery. Malls could have some slick sidewalks if they're not properly treated. So, let's say 2 inches. Whatever we see on Sunday from this forecast model, we'll subtract 2 inches. All right. Now, let's go through. There it goes, and boom goes the dynamite. Wow, this is actually run of the icon model is more than I thought. So let's just wait till it finishes. Just right about there, which is again Monday morning. So the grand, holy crap. This was that morning time. This is much different than when I looked at it earlier. I was looking at, I believe, the 12Z or the 6Z this morning when I was talking with a couple of bosses. What is the question here? What are the times the Deep Thunder run? Oh, we'll get to the Deep Thunder run. So any questions with the Deep Thunder? Let's table that just for a little bit. Ah, there goes the air conditioner. If you hear the air conditioner, I'll just see what the temperature is. It just hit 72 in here. I have it set to go once it goes over 72 degrees in the studio, because that gets really warm for all the equipment. The air conditioner goes on, even though it's 34 degrees outside. So if that's too loud and you hear it, just let me know, and I'll go and I'll turn that off. But it's comfortable now with a nice cool breeze in the warm studio. All right, so wham! Hudson Valley, 17 inches. Around Albany, over 2 feet of snow. This icon model. If the icon model, is true, we are going to get a wallop. And this icon model has been pretty consistent. And Pete, yes, you like the 17 inches of snow? I think you said you live in Orange County. Yeah, right there. And let's look at the legend. Let's try and put these up side by side. And I'll try and stand right in the middle here. Okay. So here, 17 inches is what the number is. But if we look at the darker greens right in there, and now we look at the legend, that could be getting up near 20 inches in some of those localized areas in the darker greens over here. Now once we take a look in here in the blues where that 29 is, if we move this up a little, where we're seeing the 29, so that's the blue going into the white, the very top there. So that's showing that little bit of white coming through. That's nearing the 3 foot mark. Taller than me there. That's nearing the 3 foot mark with this. Delvin, you sound like Joe Chaffee. One can access, funny, the Australian model. I have personally never used that, so if I've something I've never used, I'm not going to show it just because I have no idea what it's going to do. Yes, I personally love snow, so I would like just snow. And one of my friends, Stanley George, he's been on the YouTube channel before with the car videos. He had a rear-wheel drive car, doesn't have a rear-wheel drive car anymore because the last big snowstorm, he had some issues with the car. But essentially, he's in a better equipped car for this area. I still have the WRX. I am in love with that car. All-wheel drive, I got snow tires on there. It is ready. The only issue, the WRX is sitting about 6 inches off the ground. It's a sports car. A sports car designed to go into some light off-roading. That's what rally cars do. However, they're 6 inches off the ground. With this, this car won't work. My old Jeep, I was able to lay on my side under the Jeep, which is probably shoulder to shoulder. I think like 14 inches is my shoulder. So I had 14 inches, maybe, and I still had space. I had about 15 inches of ground clearance on my old. That still may not have been enough. If this, let me move this back over. If this actually happens, my Jeep with 15 inches of ground clearance wouldn't have been enough. Yeah, Delvin, we're going to go through all those models, even if it goes, oh wow, it's later already. But this is very important to go through. I had an out time of about it's still less than an hour. We've been streaming about 51 minutes, so we're going to go at least the full hour, probably a bit more than that, which I hope you don't mind, but I want to show you all the information that I have when I'm making a forecast. So the icon. Let me also see here. What am I going to do? Let me just change my background source very quickly. I want to just see if Joe Chaffee is on. I think he's on. And with this green screen system, I don't think there is an easy way to get him on. Oh, he finished his stream already. Well, he got 750 views in an hour. But that's what happened. Wow, he's almost at 8,000 subscribers. He finished his stream about 13 minutes ago. Okay. So he might be doing some live television updates at the moment. I may be working with him over the weekend. I don't know. I might be working with Brian Fitzgerald, who's the chief meteorologist. And let's add the background back. There we go. So with this, boy, that's a wallop. So that's the icon. Just for giggles. Here's the Canadian. I just went to the snow totals itself. Actually, it's not that far off. It's kind of right in line or kind of in between the GFS and the icon. 7 or a little more than that, 8 inches, Hudson Valley area. That sharp line a little bit south of New York City is where the snow really tapers off. And then north of the Hudson Valley, again up near 20 inches. But for the Hudson Valley specifically, 7 to 8 inches. So the icon, if I switch back to that, and we'll just show again the relative totals. That's the icon. A lot of snow, and that snow is making its way down into New Jersey, the higher near 20 inches of snow out there. So that's that. Now, we are going to go into the NAM. And, yeah, he's off now. The NAM. Let's take a look at... I don't want to show you the snow totals of the NAM just yet. I'm going to switch this back to... No, not region. Precip moisture. MSLP. If anybody's not sure what this MSLP that you may see a lot, that stands for mean surface level pressure. So that's a pressure map, which is showing the isobars. And this one's also showing, I could see with or without this rain frozen, so liquid or ice. All right. So the NAM, let's go to now. This ends 6Z Sunday. Unfortunately, the 6Z Sunday is not enough to make a good observation, but at least we could see the Thursday night into Friday system. You see how the temperature's doing? So I don't trigger anybody's voice assistant. I'm going to mute myself for a second. Whenever I see a YouTuber or someone, mostly on YouTube, whenever I see somebody do a review video, whether it's Siri or Alexa, I didn't trigger the Sonos speaker. Whenever I see somebody do a review on one of those and they say the command phrase, the voice phrase out loud, that triggers all these things, my HomePod goes off, my Sonos goes off. So I try not to do that, and I try and mute the audio, mute the microphone when I'm using that. So, courteous to you guys. If colder air moves in on Saturday, Pete, that doesn't make a difference really, because when the low pressure makes its way through, actually, let me switch back, for instance, to the icon. All right, so let's say on this, let me go this side. On this map here, if we have colder air, so that freezing line is more south, that amount of moisture and the front side, there's the center of the low pressure. If this is still just bringing in warm air. So I don't think a colder Saturday will change much in terms of this. So the NAM didn't go, at least the 12-kilometer NAM only went out about that far. And I just want to see what's showing here. It's kind of still in line with what the others were saying. That freezing line is a little bit more south. So that could mean the freezing line is a bit more south for Sunday. It's just that the NAM does not go out far enough. This one ends 6Z Sunday, but at least when it starts, let's see the start time. Right there. 0Z Sunday. So 0Z Sunday, which is 7 p.m. Saturday, it's starting, and it's not starting light. That could be some more moderate snow versus the heavy snow starting right around there. So this could start out as some moderate snow according to the NAM. And then it just ends there. I don't know if it would even have, let's see, total positive snow depth. Wait for they're loaded. All right, so round one, again, it's right in line with everything else, which is good. 1 to 2. A lot of ones, a lot of twos. Very confident. I am very confident. Thursday night into Friday morning, it's going to be a bit of a nuisance, but it's not going to be a lot. 2 inches, that's really about it. So with this, let's say we minus 2 inches, but we're not going to be able to minus 2 inches completely, because by 1 a.m. Sunday, look at this. This is going to be a high one. I have a feeling the NAM is going to be a high total. So tomorrow, once we get into that 3-day range that the NAM is in, we'll know more. And I have a very good feeling, a very just gut feeling, the NAM is going to be one of the higher end ones. Because look at this. This is 6Z Sunday. So 1 a.m. Sunday. we are already in the pinks. And I'm going to do my little scooch over here. Right there. So the pink starts right there. That's where the 6-inch starts. And then once it starts to get a little bit lighter, it goes more. So if we look at this side, that line right there where it just turns to pink, right at 6. And then once you get into Western Orange and Western Rockland County, going into maybe Sussex County in New Jersey there, it's getting more. And I have a feeling the NAM's going to be along the lines of the icon. And we're going to keep this 6Z Sunday. And I'm going to switch to the icon and we'll see how close it is. So 6Z Sunday. Wow, I was not expecting this. 6Z Sunday, 4 to 5 inches. The NAM is higher than the icon. So if that continues to hold true going into tomorrow, I'm going to bring up the snow totals again here. All of these totals, 17, 16, 19, 29, that's not 20. That's a 29, 26. The NAM could be higher. And with the NAM, the name, these are all acronyms. I don't know what the icon stands for. If anybody knows what the acronym for icon model stands for, I'd love to know. But the NAM stands for North American Mesoscale. Key thing is mesoscale. I'll explain that in a second. GFS, Global Forecast System. So the NAM, again, North American Mesoscale. Mesoscale is a smaller scale. It's a higher resolution scale. Higher resolution. Which, when we go into now the Deep Thunder and the RPM, that's going to be the higher resolutions. And when I talk about resolutions, think of it as pixel density on, say, a phone, a smartphone. The smaller the pixels, the more you're able to pack in, the better it looks, the more accurate of a representation whatever you're looking at on the screen is. Same thing with the forecast models. As you reduce the size of each block, for instance, the GFS is 100 kilometers. So a 100 kilometer by 100 kilometer square is 1 pixel. That's a pretty big pixel. Very low resolution. The Deep Thunder is 15 kilometers. So a 15th of, or a 15/100th of the GFS, much higher resolution. The NAM, 12 kilometer. The RPM is also 12 kilometer, and there's an even higher resolution. There is a 3 kilometer. The NAM 3 kilometer doesn't go out as far. But look at the difference here. Look at the detail, the fine detail in all of this. And see these lines? That's the Appalachian Mountains. The Appalachian Mountains is showing on here. I could define them out with the 3 kilometer. The HRRR is not done processing for the 0Z, 3Z, because this is an hourly model. Yeah, that's just not done. So we're going to go back to the 12 kilometer NAM. Icosahedral non-hydrostatic model. Thank you, Timothy. And good evening to you, Timothy, as well. I was just reading your comments. Icosahedral non-hydrostatic model. I will definitely have to remember that. Thank you for putting it in the chat, so I know I can always refer back to this stream in the archive of the stream on YouTube when trying to look that up again. But the 7 to 9 range, yes, was upped. Up here in Albany. Okay, you're in Albany as well. So again, the NAM wasn't going as far out. Let me switch back to the 12 kilometer. Oh, I'm on the 12 kilometer NAM. So at the end of the 12 kilometer NAM. So this is 6Z on Sunday. Okay, the stream's still good. My camera froze. Why is my camera frozen? Boop. Okay. Stream unavailable. Did that switch Wi-Fi's? Okay, it's available. Let's see it available. Restart the stream of that specific device. So in terms of the setup, I know you can't see me. You just hear me and I'm frozen. The failed restart stream. Oh boy. Anyway, when you look at my chest in the middle, you'll see the lavalier microphone. The lav mic, it's failing to restart stream. Why is it doing that? But the lav microphone in the middle is connected to one of my iPhones. I have two iPhones set up with this. The 8 Plus that's in my pocket, which is my wireless mic pack, that's transmitting audio perfectly fine. And you can see back here, I'm moving the mouse, the MacBook Pro. This is the HDMI signal from the MacBook Pro. All of that's fine. For some reason, this camera, let me restart the app. It's on the right Wi-Fi. Let me try restarting this. Okay. The app I restarted on the phone. Let's try restarting or restart stream. Okay. There we go. I just had to quit out of the app. And it looks fine. Delay is all good. And I'm also just taking a peek. The audio looks fine. The air conditioner kicked back on. Gotta try and keep the equipment cool. Okay. Now I'm back. All that's working. Oh, you Google searched it. Okay, well, thank you. And Pete, thanks. Thank you for confirming that this is all back. But anyway, what I was trying to say, the lav mic, which is right there, that in my back pocket, I have the 8 Plus that's connected, and that's giving the audio for this stream. Then the camera right in front of me is my XS Max. So that one, front-facing camera, so I can make sure everything's lined up. That's streaming the video. Am I back? I think I'm back. I'm on air. It says on air. Lots of weird little issues. It's still going. Okay. Okay, it looks like it's back. I'm off screen right now, don't worry, still. I'm just going to switch back here to the live control room. All right, looks like it's back. Yeah, I've been having weird internet issues. Yeah, I don't think it's you. I think I need a new router. Yeah. This router is just old and slow. Okay. I don't know if that has to do with why the HDMI box was also having issues. At least you can still see the definition of the bottle on there. And let me check my output settings. Yeah, the output bit rate dropped drastically. I have no idea why, but output bit rate is stable again. All right, seems like we're back. Anyway, and this was for you. Where are you? This was for you, Timothy, just explaining with the Albany area. This is, where was I? NAM 12Z, and this is assuming a static, right up there, 10-to-1 snow ratio. So in Albany, it's still at this time showing 4 to 5 inches. That's the NAM. My point I was trying to say was down here in the Hudson Valley. That's showing, that's 6 to 8 inches. And then when I switch to the icon, I got my note there, thank you. When I switch to the icosahedral non-hydrostatic model, at that time at 1 a.m., which is 6Z, it's showing here 3 to 5. So it's lower. And with the icon, the storm total, again, take about, say, 1 or 2 inches off of this. Even if you take 2 inches off of 29, that's still a lot. And if you take 2 inches off of 17, that's still a lot. So I have a sneaking suspicion that the NAM, come tomorrow when we check this, the NAM is going to be higher than this. And what I was trying to mention was with the NAM, the North American Mesoscale, the lower the resolution, or the lower the size of the block, the higher the resolution. So now, we're going to go into the Deep Thunder model, and I am going to first kill the screen in the back. And set that so that's ready to go. Okay. So, now you can't see anything, so if I'm typing in something, you won't know. My password's my password. We're going to go to the model lab. Yeah, 15 kilometers is the Deep Thunder. Okay, so here it goes. We're going to start tonight. Actually, we'll start tomorrow morning. Okay, so I got that ready. Let's bring that back up. So this is the picture tomorrow on the Deep Thunder. There's the Deep Thunder. The IBM copyright Deep Thunder. So IBM makes this with the Watson supercomputer. High pressure tomorrow, not bad. It's still in line. Round 1, here we go. That's moderate snow. And that's starting And this model actually goes per hour. So we got 7 p.m., 8, 9, 10. 10 p.m. Thursday is this picture right here. And that goes pretty much until about 7 a.m. Friday. And right there, let me zoom in. The Hudson Valley is still seeing snow. So for even as far south as Rockland and Westchester County, this looks like an all or 90% snow event. But not much. All right, so that's one. That's round one. That makes its way out. Here comes round two, vigorously. And that is starting about 10 p.m., which is in line with the Icon model. And those dark blues. This is showing a lot of ice. The other ones didn't show a lot of ice. This is interesting because I actually don't know what the resolution of the Icon model is. But this one is 15 kilometers. This is one of the higher ones. This is why this is an experimental model right now. Because it's 15 kilometers, very high resolution, medium range. This goes out 140 hours. The Icon, the 12 and 0Z go out 180 hours, so it goes out a little bit more. And then to 120 hours for the 6 and the 18Z. So this kind of falls in between there. The GFS goes out 380 hours, which no one should be looking ever at that long range. It's just terrible. Even before the bug fix from the government shutdown. So here, we do have a lot of ice coming through. That is a lot of ice. And also a lot of rain. And a lot of snow. And that's a little bit of a break. This is in the afternoon. This is, oh, I know. This is 11 a.m. still. So a little bit of a break there. And then here comes more ice and snow, but not much on the back end as we get that Arctic air coming straight down out of Canada. So this ends sooner. This pretty much is over, I'd say by 10 p.m. Sunday. There's just some little bits left once you get into Long Island, Massachusetts area there. So this one, the only issue is that ice. All of this ice. That is the dangerous part too. So that is there. Let's now switch this to accumulated snowfall. And we're going to have to do the same tactic of whatever it shows for Friday, we'll subtract that from Sunday. Okay, let's watch it go. Thursday night, here it goes. All right, so this is Friday. And you can also tell this is a higher resolution because this goes into decimals. 1.5 inches, 0.8 inches. A bit more north, 2.6, 2.6. So 1 to 2 inches there. And I'm going to see if I can do that little thing with the legend. Let's see if I can scooch over here. Where's the legend? Oh, the legend's on the bottom. That won't work. Let me go here. The legend, here we go. Right there. The white, once it goes white to blue, that's the 2-inch mark. And then light blue to dark blue, that's the 4-inch mark. So this, for the most part, throughout the tri-state region, is showing the white to the blue. Right around that 2-inch. Some areas, this is showing maybe a bit more than 2 inches. So we're going to say we're going to subtract 2 for this. The fact that it's showing higher than 2 in some spots could be a precursor. So now, let's follow through. And I'm going to play that. Here it comes. Explosion. Boom goes the dynamite there. Whoop, hold on. Heat just kicked on. Okay, I'm back. That's not good when you have the air conditioner and the heat going at the same time. Electric bill. But wow. Okay, this ends later. So let's say it ends here, 7 p.m. Sunday. It's again kind of in the middle. Albany area, almost 30 inches, so maybe around 2 feet. Hudson Valley, that purple. Purple's 12 feet. 12 feet. 12, imagine 12 feet of snow. 12 inches. So the 12 inch of snow is right about there. So 6 to 12 inches is right in between here. So 6 to 12 inches for the Hudson Valley. Same thing once you go New York City into Sussex County. 6 to 10 inches. That's the 12-inch mark there. That heart of it is where the cold air meets the heavy precipitation. So this is showing, yes, still a lot of rain or a lot of moisture, but it's not going to be as much snow for areas, say, south of Sullivan, Ulster, Dutchess County there. However, if you remember, I still have this one up. That ice. Look at all that ice. So this is not contributing to any snow accumulation. This is contributing to ice accretion. Basically just ice accumulation. That is very concerning. And you can see the front too. Those kinks, the isobars get kinky. We gotta get kinky with it. We follow the kinks. If we follow the kinks all the way through the isobars, we can basically track where the front is, and we can connect that to the center. So here's the warm front. That's the warm front. Follow these kinks. That's the warm front. The cold front. Ooh, that moved a little too fast. The cold front, let me go this side. We're going to follow from the low pressure center there. We're going to follow these kinks through there, and through there. That's the cold front, which is not much precipitation around the cold front here. It's more along that warm front right there. That's all the warm front. So that can be very concerning with all that ice. So that's deep thunder. If that freezing line moves down a little bit more, 29 inches can move down more here. Maybe Orange County, Putnam County, right in there. That can give you the double digits of snow. Just saying. You can still see me and hear me. Let me see what the output shows. So on my end, it's fluctuating a little bit with the output, but it's still not dropping very much. And right now my output bit rate is over the 1080p target. This is going about 3,500 kilobits per second. The 1080p target bit rate is 3250. So it's a little bit above the target right now in terms of the output bit rate. But if you could see me, you could hear me, and there's no then we're good. And we're almost done too. So that's the deep thunder. The very last one I want to show, or the last two I want to show you, the RPM. And the RPM forecast model is what on television you would typically see as the futurecast. So again, the 0Z model is not done. It's only going out 27 hours. So we're going to back up one from the 0Z to the 21Z RPM. And we're going to do here, and we're going to loop this with the mean surface level pressure. All right, so Thursday, nothing. Here comes the first round for Friday. Wait. Yeah, that's Friday. Mostly snow until you get south of New York City. Saturday, doesn't look bad. And then, here comes the next system. Ooh, that's as far out as it goes. Yep, 72. So this one doesn't go out as far as the NAM, which went out 84 hours, which was at 1 a.m. or 6Z Sunday. This is showing, this only goes out until 21Z. That's 4 p.m. So this only goes out till 4 p.m. Saturday. And it's approaching very quickly. So I can't really say for any kind of certainty with the RPM. But yeah, it's out there. And briefly, I'm just going to show you the euro because I really want to. We're going to switch this to the 0Z is not going to be out just yet. So I'm going to switch this to the 12Z. Okay. So let's look at that 540 line pretty far south. So any of this is probably going to be snow. And that's showing for Thursday night into Friday. So mostly a snow event. Not a lot, very light snow. The euro, just for this, doesn't have any snow accumulations or snow totals. Here comes the next one. That 540 line is right there. It's starting to move into the area. It's right over the area here. So this actually probably will be snow. And then it starts to move a little bit more north. So all of this just before that 540 line probably be ice. And then north is going to be snow. The heaviest actually starts to happen a bit more east. So this is targeting kind of the Boston area. But that's going to be on that icy side. That 540 line is right about there. And just south of the 540 line is the Boston area. The Boston area may get some sleet out of this, according to the European. And then all of this is all snow. So this has a lot more snow on the back end. The timing on this is 7 p.m. Sunday. So this is going to be all snow, and it's still going. Still going pretty moderately, or maybe even heavy at times. And this is 1 a.m. Monday. This is 7 a.m. Monday. Still snowing, ever so slightly, still snowing. So 7 a.m. Monday, and it started right about here, which is 7 p.m. Saturday. So 7 p.m. Saturday, 7 a.m. Monday. That sounds familiar. One of the other forecast models did that as well. All right. That pretty much concludes. I'm going to go back to the radar here of the beginnings right there. That's the, not live radar. Let me just refresh. Now it's live radar. The beginnings. All right. So that pretty much wraps up this live stream. As the air conditioner goes back on, the temperature fluctuates quite a bit in here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for this really important discussion, because we do have just overall. One last thing. Let me go back to the GFS icon. Let me go to GFS and switch this back to mean surface level pressure. So we did talk about this system. Spent a lot of time on that. However, ooh, what is this? More right on the cusp of some rain and snow here. And that is Wednesday. But Thursday looks fine. This is Friday. This could be round 4. Round 3 would be here. So that's round 3. We got an active week coming up. All right. So, again, thank you guys for joining. I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed talking with everybody here. We got a lot more to talk about coming up tomorrow and Friday with this system. So if you're new to the channel and you're just watching this for the first time, I would appreciate hitting the subscribe button below and the bell icon right next to that so you get notified whenever I upload a video or I do go live, like right now. Also, if you watched this morning, I posted at about 9 a.m. That was part 2 to my gaming computer build. So that I finished up. I had a little montage at the end. That was pretty much just another live stream style. It was not yesterday, but last Tuesday when I did the live stream for the computer build. Once the stream ended, I just did a recording and kept going to finish up the build. And then the next day, I retweaked some stuff, and that was the montage. So that was that. The game streams hopefully will come back Tuesdays, although it's not going to be too certain over the next couple of weeks because more weather stuff. But I have a lot more content for you and 2 other updates for the channel. I'm working on my 2018 rewind. I'm going to go through the highlights of 2018. If you remember, May 15th, 2018 was a very important day. If you think you know it, hit that and put that in the comments below, because that will be big spotlight too in the 2018 rewind. And then the last update, Spectra, the movie trailer I put out on Halloween. I have a script. Ooh, that's weird. Okay, so I am going to read you my first part of the script, okay, without putting it in the green screen. So the idea with and you'll see this in the trailer, I'm going to have the trailer come out too. Credits, opening credits. I have a voiceover, you're just seeing the credits go and a little bit of music. We live by light. We die by light. We are surrounded by light. But what if we could die from light? Have you ever been infected by light? So much so that it changes you, changes everyone around you, and then kills you. Sounds like a fantasy, doesn't it? My name is Andrew, and I am here to tell you that this is no fantasy. I am here to tell you my story. I am here to tell you how I died. Opening voiceover. Definitely check that out. I have that coming up, so I got part of the script here. We'll be filming that with a couple of friends. Mario, he helped me with turning the story I wrote into script style. I have a couple of friends as actors in there, so that'll be a fun one. Again, thank you all for joining. This is meteorologist Andrew Pineiro. Again, hit that subscribe button so you get all the latest weather information on these next rounds of snow coming up, because winter is really kicking up. Have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video.